Welcome back, everybody, to part two of my service learning project. This is Stephen Walker back here again. I just got back home from Washington D.C. I'm still in the area. I haven't made it back to North Carolina yet, but I'm still down the street from Washington. But to go back to my service learning project, I told you part two. I was going to go into detail of the three disciplines that I think will associate with my problem of racism and social injustice. And the three things that I came up with was sociology, criminal justice, and also religion. Sociology is the social nature of societies and the behavior of how humans interact. I believe it's a good place to start because interaction is a good place to begin when you talk about racism and social injustice because it creates a conversation between you know different ethnic groups and it kind of bridges the gap between one another. Um, I believe that communication is the way to fix things. If you don't communicate at all, then we can't fix the problem. Um, I believe that it must be solved with our actions, and we talk about the system, but are we really making change? And so, sociology has a big part to it, because it can bring conversation either within the proper gatherings, and protesting is something that is not just properly properly produced today. It sometimes can result in rioting and or fighting or arrest, and protesting today isn't being effective like it should be. But that's just my opinion. Because when we riot, we show our arrogance and we're just feeding the animal of racism, in my opinion. And the way you beat an animal that always has plenty of advantages to it is you outsmart it, not interrogate it. So I personally feel that rioting doesn't help solve the problem of racism. And so with the whole sociology, we must interact as human beings. We must be able to bridge that gap between one another. Um, However, real deep conversation will crack a barrier that we can constantly deny, but it needs to happen. Another form of discipline that I think that should help is criminal justice. Because I was in the nation's capital. Washington D.C. is the place to be if you want to be in justice or Congress or Senate. And as you can see from the part one video that I've posted, that the U.S. Capitol, that's where the U.S. Senate and the representatives, it's where they all meet, and that's where they are meeting to discuss these laws that we as Americans see on television. And just being there, it's like, wow, like that's where they meet. That's literally where the U.S. senators and the representatives meet to discuss the laws that we received today. It's like, it was kind of surreal in a way. And I'm from DC, and I never really thought about it until that moment. I mean, I'm from DC, but I never really considered that until now. Um, but criminal justice is another great discipline because um, white white accusers today are getting off free or maybe less time, while blacks and Hispanics or any minorities are getting more time than the other race. And you can't beat a system that was never meant for you to beat in the first place. It's like the door of racism is ranged by the doorbell of criminal justice, and we can't get in the door because it was never meant for us to be open to the minority. Like we're ringing the doorbell, but it was never meant to be open. So it's like, so it kind of leads us there. And we need more minorities in the judicial system to bring equality and justice for all, not just for some, to help enforce the laws to effectiveness and fairness. Racism is a type of power that white supremacy has built and instilled into its generation's DNA, which, is my opinion, is deep rooted. And that's actually a good transition point to my last discipline, which is religion. I was going to talk about political science, but I feel like that would be too, um, I guess obvious. So I chose religion as my last discipline. Um, and I'm a believer of Jesus Christ, and I believe that we are all the body of Christ, and we shouldn't look at each other differently by by the color of our skin, but look at each other as God's children. So I believe that racism is something that is deeply rooted in the spirit, and it's so deep now that it can't be changed by our protests or right or conversations, or maybe even a sit down of laws, by the senators and representatives, there at the U.S. Capitol. I believe that the change must start from within. It must start from within ourselves. All people will have an answer for their actions on earth, but a lot of people fail to have that knowledge. Religion reveals justice of people, and religion also reveals injustice as well. And so I believe that when it comes to talking about um, the U.S. Capitol and racism, I believe that those three disciplines definitely hit home for me. Religion, um, as well as sociology and criminal justice. Those three disciplines, in my opinion, are definitely going to help spark the change. Those disciplines are definitely going to help bring about the change. But I'm not saying that we can't go any other direction or any other route, but those are the three disciplines that I think that will make a change for us, and definitely benefit us as we seen this past election. We are a nation divided. This previous election has seriously, revealed to America that we are divided. We are definitely walking on different pathways, and the foundation is rocky. But we have to become one. We have to be able to interact with one another. We have to be able to find the right laws to bring about justice and change. And we must, if we are a country built on Christian values, like we say we are, then let's start from the spirit within ourselves. That's why I felt like the U.S. Capitol was so pivotal. It was so powerful just being there. And, I hope that you all can see the passion that I have, and I pray that this video was informative, and you all have a great night. Thank you for seeing part one of my live stream of me being in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Capitol, and I also posted the U.S. Monument, so hopefully you guys saw that too as well. It was kind of dark. I was there at nighttime, but hopefully you all had a good view of it. I try to add some lighting to it. Hopefully that helped out. And thank you for watching part 2 of my video. Once again, this is Stephen Walker, Libs 200, Service Learning Project for Dr. Hamlet, topic racism and social injustice. Thank you.